Gerze is one of the smaller cities in Sinop province. You see Sinop city right over my shoulder here. So this is like a sister town to Sinop, and there's a lot of commerce back and forth between the two cities. You've seen there's a fishing port here, people fish, and they have their own farmers market and bazaar. It's a great little town to just relax in. Normally I would say soccer, but I'm going to do it correctly. Football is one of the most coveted sports in Turkey, and they're always fundraising for the local teams. It's more than a passion, it's a way of life. Hey, I'm here with Mehmet. We're in Gerze, and Mehmet's going to give me the lowdown on this club, his football club. Tell me, what are you guys doing here? I see you're selling some stuff to support the team.
Takımı desteklemek amaçlı yapıyoruz. Yani kendi ilçemizin kendi takımı olduğu için dışarıda yaşayan insanlarımız oluyor. Takıma destek amaçlı. Yazın olduğu için başka yerde yaşayan insanlarımız geliyor. Çok formalardan alıyorlar, takımımıza destek oluyorlar.
Very good, very good. There's a sport. Official member now. I'm a member of the team. One of the big advantages of hosting a travel show is you always get to try the food first. We're going to test some nokut börek. So I'm going to try both of these, and we're going to go with the grape first. Let me try this. Almost like a dessert. It tastes very much like a dessert, very sweet. You have the sesame seeds and you have the pastry. Now this is the meat, seasoned perfectly, and it's a very light pastry, which brings out all of the flavors. We're going to talk about a love story today, one that is still ongoing. A little tragic, but I think you're going to like this one. There are no stray animals in Turkey. If a dog or a cat lives on a block, everyone on that block knows them, loves them, and feeds them. This is the love story between a town and a whale. The whale was Aydın. The town was Gerze. There could not be a more beautiful tale of love between people and animal. January 24th, 1992, a fisherman in the Black Sea spotted something just off the coast. It was the strangest marine animal he had ever seen. Pure white with a bulbous head, it blew air out of his spout, just like a dolphin. But it wasn't a dolphin. It was very much larger. It was a beluga whale, many thousands of miles from its Arctic home. The fisherman was terrified and rushed back to port. The mayor was dispatched, and when he saw the whale, he ordered a cart of fish to feed it and bring it closer to shore. Everyone was so surprised to see how friendly it was and not afraid of humans at all. It gladly ate all of the fish and then wanted more. The fishermen discovered they could feed it by hand, and it actually liked to have its head rubbed. In a small town like Gerze, it took no time for people to find out. A friendly fish who likes to be fed and petted? Very strange indeed. The next morning, the whale was still in the harbor and looking back at the people who were looking at it. It didn't like fish with scales, but it loved cod, mackerel, and scallops. It was so friendly, and it seemed to know tricks. It could do backflips out of the water. It could extend half of its body out of the water and swim standing up on its tail. Truly an amazing animal. Within a few days, the whole town was down at the shore. They brought fish to feed it. They watched it in amazement as it did its tricks, and everybody had their pictures taken with it. At one point, someone threw a ball in the water, and Aydın swam over, picked it up in his mouth, and threw it back. Very soon, Aydın's days were filled with fish, people, and playing catch. When he heard his name Aydın, he knew you were talking about him. When he saw a fish, even in a plastic bag in someone's hand, he would swim right up. When he was given the fish, he took it in his mouth, but he did not immediately sink into the water. He waited for his head and neck to be stroked first, and then swallowed the fish. Since he ate 40 kilos of fish a day, accounts were opened at the bank branches, and money was collected so Aydin could be fed. We found the perfect person who witnessed this love story. He's going to tell us the intimate details of what it was. I am here with Shukra today, and we are in Gerze. And Shukra had the experience of knowing the white whale, the Russian spy white whale, when it came to Gerze here. He's going to tell us about that experience and what the white whale was like and how this city adopted him. Tell me what you know about the white whale, the Russian white whale that came to Gerze.
Aydin from Sinop. Everybody is where is Aydin?
Where's Aydin?
Yes,
Aydin, and that was his name.
Ankara,
Aydin.
Istanbul,
Yeah,
television, the program, anytime.
the famous whale of Gerze.
Everybody knows on the Gerze.
Yeah,
everybody.
Everybody now knows where Gerze is. Yeah.
Yes.
He swam with the fishing boats and raised up to his waist to see if there were any fish in their holds. Soon, news of Aydin would go around the world. And what happened in Gerze with Aydin was world news. Gerze saw many foreign press members, British, Spanish, American, Canadian, French, Japanese. They all had mammal experts and environmental organizations, and organizations from Greenpeace all stayed in Gerze. Aydin could not be bought. The British gave £25,000 to take Aydin, and the mayor sent the money back to them. The Prime Minister of the time contacted international organizations in order for Aydin to be protected and live in Turkey. Meanwhile, Aydin's past became known. He was an Arctic beluga whale that came to Russia from the port of Sevastopol. He was being trained to attach explosive mines to the bottom of ships. According to the statement that the Russian embassy gave, he escaped from the research pool, the Institute of Animal Evolution and Morphology, affiliated with the Russian Academy of Sciences. And it turned out Aydin, a male name, was actually a she. Her real name was Tishka, and she was 8 years old. After a tremendous rain and flood, 2 whales of the beluga species escaped into the Black Sea. Aydin's friend probably died on the way. He was never found. Aydin was left alone as a result of the escape and reached the shores of Gerze, 270 miles to the south, where he found a town where all of the people love him. Then the bad news came. The Russians wanted their whale back on the basis of international law. Prince Charles wanted the British ambassador in Ankara to take the initiative to prevent Aydin from being given back to the Russians. Paul McCartney at the time planned to hold a concert in Gerze so that Aydin would not be returned and imprisoned in a 20 by 40 foot aquatic pen. The Russians would take Aydin because supposedly she could not return on her own. Aydin was resistant with all of his might. After resisting the Russians for 1.5 hours, Aydin was lassoed over his head and pinched by the tail in a brutal manner while trying to be taken on board. His tail hit the side of the ship and he was injured. It was horrific, terrible for the Turks who had loved him so much to see. After several months, word got out that Aydin might have escaped. And on July 18, 1993, at the Gerze Music Festival, the orchestra had just taken its place. And exactly at 5 p.m. there was a sudden upheaval. Aydin had come back to the music festival. Long lost, there was great enthusiasm. Aydin toured the port. Everyone petted his head. A great festival had started, and everyone was very happy. But the joy was quickly lost. Unable to naturally hunt for his own food, in the warm July waters, he quickly moved on. And alas, Aydin was never seen again. No hint on what had happened to him. A statue was built, but it's like keeping a picture of an old friend. The joy was so great in knowing them that the pain of missing them is just too much to bear. Every time you see that image, it plunges a dagger in your heart again. The statue was eventually removed. Sometimes tales of love are just too sad to remember. Goodbye, Aydin. Know that you were loved in this life. I hope you are resting in cool waters, my friend. I hope you'll join us for further explorations of Turkey. We're going to visit everywhere, and we're going to talk to everyone, from large towns to small. Please join us on this journey. These are our last looks.